بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Ask Eman, broadcasted live on Eman Channel on Sky 757, streaming it live via our official Facebook page, YouTube channel and our website emanchannel.tv. Live interactive Q&A program. You can pick up the phone and dial the number displayed at the bottom of your screen, including WhatsApp number if you would like to drop us a text. Or you can leave us your comments or question in the comment section below, either on our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel. I'm your host, Qamarul Islam. Joining us today is none other than renowned face on Eman Channel, Sheikh Shaqur Rehman. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Jazakallahu khairan on Saturday, unusual for me, but we're really happy and grateful for you giving us your valuable time, Sheikh.
Alhamdulillah, good to see you.
Barakallah fiqh. Now let's start with the question. We know a lot of masajids, including the big masajids of the UK, have started from this weekend Hajj seminar or Hajj ta'aleem in either Urdu, English, Bangla, so on and so forth, or main English language and then other languages, of course. How important it is for Muslim, especially those that will inshallah be attending the Hajj or will have made the intention to perform Hajj, to attend such seminars. Why I ask this? A lot of people I have seen, I wouldn't say a lot, but I have seen significant number of people when they visit the, when they initially start going to Hajj, or when they have made the intention last minute, they realize I haven't done my preparation. I don't know what my faraids are. I don't know what are the issues that can nullify my Hajj. How do I pay kafara, a penalty? Now, then it's continuous movement, finding scholar, this and that. But only if we could have prepared well in advance, like we do in our worldly matters, it could have perhaps helped. Sheikh.
Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah amma ba'd. Let us first congratulate those who have this intention for going Hajj. Because that is a noble intent, and that is something that we should be proud of our brothers and sisters, because they want to worship Allah, they want to glorify Allah. Now, you know, a lot of people start to think about the detailed issues in the fiqh of Hajj, but they forget the essence of the Hajj itself, which is detrimental to their Hajj. Now, the first thing, when we think about Hajj itself, and those who are preparing to go Hajj, may Allah accept it from all of the Muslims this year and in the years to come. And may Allah give us the opportunity to make the Hajj. Now, the greatest intent, the greatest aim and objective of the Hajj is to glorify Allah, to venerate Allah, to declare His majesty. Now, that should be the focus in terms of our preparation. We are going to submit to whatever Allah orders us to do, and whatever difficulties we face, we will deal with them with resilience, with patience, with perseverance, and we will get through the Hajj doing what Allah wants us to do. Now, that is the key to the Hajj. Now, after that, a person needs to understand that you are worshipping the majesty of the universe. Yani Allah is the highest, the most lofty. This is Allah. Yani, as long as you intend to follow His commandments, then you don't need to worry about falling short in little things here and there, because Allah is Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Allah is not looking for you to slip up so then He nullifies your Hajj and wipes it all out. So, you know, this kind of mentality that, oh no, you know, and this happens every Hajj. A person rubs their beard maybe, or rubs their hair, and then they find a hair on their hand or something and thinks that, oh no, my Hajj is invalid now because a hair has fallen out. No, come on, this is the majesty of the universe. You think He's going to nullify your Hajj after everything you're doing and you're submitting to Him because you scratched your beard, or you put your hand through your beard, or you put your hand through your hair and a hair fell out? Come on. This is not the majesty that we worship. Allah is not like the Lord of some other religions who think that their Lord is one who is waiting for them to slip up so He punishes them. No, our Lord is Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the one who is the pinnacle of mercy, the one who loves to bestow His mercy. That said, we should not get caught up in these little details of, in some seminars, they make a big deal out of what sandals you can wear and what sandals you can't wear. But they make they make it so small, the main issue of Hajj, which is the glorification of Allah. You know, everything in the Hajj, whether it's the tawaf, whether it's the sa'i, whether it's the stoning of the jamarat, the staying in Mina, whether it's the staying in Muzdalifah, whether it's the staying in Arafah, whatever it is, it's there for one reason, as the Prophet ﷺ said, the iqamati dhikrillah, to establish the remembrance of Allah, to establish the majesty of Allah and venerating Allah. If that is not there, then you've lost the essence of the Hajj. So I would rather, when people teach the rituals of the Hajj, they focus on this point and not just the really intricate details of, these types of sandals are allowed, these types of sandals stay away from, etc. No, these are kind of minor issues compared to the actual big issue and aim, which is glorifying Allah. So definitively, before you go to the Hajj, prepare, read some of the literature, and there's so many simple guides to Hajj. And really understand that Hajj is easy. Easy. It's easy. Allah wouldn't make an ibadah that He's obligated upon every single Muslim, except that He made it easy for them. يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ بِكُمُ الْيُسْرَ وَلَا يُرِيدُ بِكُمُ الْعُسْرَ. Allah wants ease for you and He doesn't want difficulty. So the basics of the Hajj and what you have to do, the rituals, are really easy. Go around the Kaaba 7 times. Go between Safa and Marwa. Pray behind Maqam Ibrahim. Stay in Mina. Stay in Muzdalifah. Stay in Arafah. Make dua. Easy stuff, really.
So these are all the steps you've mentioned just now.
Yeah, so I've mentioned some of the steps, but I didn't mention them as a ta'aleem in that sense.
Yeah.
But yes, definitely prepare, because you're spending so much money to go. This is once in a lifetime. You want to do it your best, but don't forget the essence. Don't get carried away with, okay, these are the specifics of the rituals and I have to do this and I have to do that in minute detail. No, your heart has to be attached to Allah. Your attitude must be complete submission to Allah. Your whole ethos should be, I am declaring Allah's majesty and giving up all of my lively luxuries or the worldly luxuries, giving them all up because I'm acknowledging I am the slave and Allah is my master.
Okay.
Now that is the focus.
Jazakallah khair. So we understand it's important to acquire knowledge, of course, number one. But number two, not to focus on so many the minute details of it, but rather understand the main aims and objectives of Hajj.
Exactly.
Okay. Jazakallah khairan for that. And you mentioned about hair. So let me take this question first. I'm planning on going to Hajj this year. Is it recommended to leave my hair open, or is it recommended to leave my hair when I'm doing Umrah so I can cut it after I complete the Hajj? WhatsApp question. We don't know whether it's brother or sister.
Sounds like a brother though, because sisters have their hair normally anyway, and they only cut in Umrah. They only cut this small amount off the back of the ponytail. Yeah. So a sister would cut that after the Umrah, and she would cut that easily. There'll be plenty there for her to cut that much for the Hajj as well. So it sounds like a brother's question, because brothers often ask. They go for the Hajj and they're going to make their Umrah maybe a day or two before the Hajj actually starts, before the 8th of Dhul Hijjah, before they head off to Mina. And then on the 10th, on the day of Eid, they will cut their hair again. So they're asking, should I shave my head? Should I cut my hair, cut it short? Now, if the brother shaves his head in the Umrah, and it's only a couple of days before the shaving of the head for the Hajj, and on the Hajj, if he was just to take a blade and have it go over his head, okay, even if there's hardly anything or nothing there at all to cut, but he has that, he will have the reward of the Prophet ﷺ making dua for him 3 times for the Umrah and 3 times again for the Hajj. So you will never lose. Okay, so if you can, shave your head during the Umrah and have the blade run over your head, all of the head, even in the Hajj, and you will get the dua of the Prophet ﷺ 3 times for the Umrah and 3 times for the Hajj.
Brilliant. Before I move to the question, just in case if some viewers are confused, what type of Hajj is this when you can perform Umrah and Hajj?
Okay, so this is the tamattu,
Okay.
where you do Umrah, you come out of Ihram before the Hajj, and then you go back into Ihram on the 8th of Dhul Hijjah.
Okay.
And this is the most common type of Hajj that people do that are coming from outside of Saudi Arabia.
Okay, Jazakallahu khairan for that clarification. And if you have any further questions, then please feel free to pick up the phone and dial 0203 515 0757. Alternatively, you can drop us a text on WhatsApp 07916841483. International viewers can use the WhatsApp number to call in live into the studio. Moving on swiftly to our callers. Who's on the line? First caller. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum.
Jazakallahu khairan for your call. What's your question?
Okay. My question is, I am going to Saudi tomorrow, inshallah.
Okay.
Our plan was to do Umrah and leave Saudi on 2nd of June.
Okay.
The Saudi Hajj authority, they were taking Hajj pilgrims until 6th of June.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have changed the date to 23rd of May. So the last day of Umrah is 23rd of May.
Okay,
now,
last day of Umrah.
my question is, if I get on the plane and if I wear my ihram, make my intention, and when I go to the airport, if any reason the Saudi authorities they don't allow me to do Umrah, can I simply just stop doing my Umrah there, or do I have to slaughter an animal? What is the procedure will it be? Or should I make an intention and should I still wear my ihram? Because I'm still not sure that if I will be able to do an Umrah or not.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Okay, Sheikh, is that clear?
Okay, say it for me because part of it was unclear for me.
Okay, the last day of performing Umrah. Brother, just please make sure that I've said it correctly if I've understood it. So last day of Umrah,
Okay.
you are saying 23rd of May, the travel agent has changed the date, and the last day of performing Umrah during the Hajj season, as you've been made aware, is 23rd of May. Is that correct so far?
Yeah.
Okay,
yes,
now
yes.
if somehow...
I'm not sure. It could be reason that they might not. Maybe they will not allow even any pilgrim even from tomorrow as well. Yeah.
Okay,
so I'm not sure.
I understand. So obviously the intention is, as you've mentioned, Hajj Thamattu, what I understand. Now, if for some reason the authorities say, no, the cut-off period has now come by, you cannot perform Umrah, and now can the brother only make the intention to perform Hajj? Did I get that correctly?
No, I'm not doing Hajj. I'm still doing. I'm only going for Umrah.
Oh, you're only going for Umrah. I see. Okay, fine. You only go.
So if I wear my ihram and everything, and if I make my intention, because it's a busy time now.
No, okay, so let me understand this because the line is slightly not clear. So if you've made the intention to perform Umrah, not Hajj, and for some reason, once you're there, the authority changes and they say, no, you can't perform any Umrah. So then what do you want to do?
Yeah, so I'm already on my ihram. Do I have to slaughter an animal?
Because you can't perform any more Umrah.
Okay, I think it's
okay.
Yeah.
Now it's clear. Okay, Jazakallah khair.
So in this, you will make ishtirat, or when you make your intention for the Umrah, you will add to it. You know, normally when you make the Umrah, you say labbaik Allahumma Umrah. Okay, that's your intention for Umrah. Here you will add the words. If you look in the books, you will find it, just so you know what you're looking at. Look for making it a condition. So if you get stopped and you're prevented from making the Umrah, you will be able to come out of Ihram and not have to pay any kafara, any penalty. Okay. Yeah, so mahilli haythu habastani. Right, so you will say these words, and then this will be added to the intention of the Umrah. So if you are not allowed to make Umrah, you will be able to come out of your Ihram and you will have no penalty, no kafara to pay because you made that condition during your intention. So look in the books of Hajj and Umrah and you will find making condition while making your intention for Umrah. And you say that, and then once you've done that, if you are prevented from going in to make Umrah, then you will be able to come out of your Ihram, put on your normal clothes, and you won't have to pay any kafara.
And for details, if it's difficult to understand from the books, it's obviously best to speak to a qualified, bona fide scholar.
Yeah, you can speak to a local imam, a local scholar. But you should be able to find this in most of those, the books that have a bit of detail of the Hajj and Umrah.
Jazakallahu khairan for that. Hope that is clear, my dear brother. It's time for a short break, but if you still have any further clarification or you want to find out further information, then please feel free to pick up the call and dial again once we are back. It's time for a short break. We'll see you in 2. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. You're watching Ask Eman, and guest with us today is Sheikh Shaqur Rehman, answering your questions, discussing about the Hajj. Of course, in the first segment, if you have missed it, then the video is available on Facebook and of course on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to all our official platforms on social media, of course. Now, Sheikh, let's move on to the next question, and all the details are there displayed at the bottom of your screen, inshallah. So if you would like to call us, then please feel free to use the telephone number 0203 515 0757, or alternatively you can drop us a text on WhatsApp 07916841483. Next question, Sheikh, is on zakah, is on pension, and of course zakat related as well. It's a good question. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Regarding pension, if part of a pension has been invested in alcohol, etc., i.e. in haram, rest is halal. However, it is difficult to understand what is halal and what portion of it is in haram in that particular pension pot. What can you do? Also, once you're 55 years of age, you can, if you want, take a lump sum payment from your pension. If you don't take any money, are you liable for any zakat because you have access to it? So, 2 questions.
Okay. Now, in terms of pensions, before we start putting our money into pensions, we should make sure that that pension company is only putting our money and investing our money and what the investments are first and foremost halal investments. So it's not allowed for you to have a pension where they're investing in alcohol, in gambling, maybe they're investing in things like pornography. All of these types of harams, okay, and that includes riba transactions and things like that. This is not allowed for a Muslim to put their money in that. And now, especially right now, you see us, we as Muslims, and even those people who have that care and concern for their humanity and the humanity of the world, they are looking at making sure their money is not put with companies that support the genocide. So we also need to take that into account. So if your pension is with a company that is supporting the genocide or involved in other harams, then you need to move that pension to another company. Okay. So immediately you should be looking into that. So the first thing that this brother should do, he knows money is being invested in haram. Find another pension company that doesn't invest in haram and has that consciousness about investing in only good and noble causes, which are also halal. Make sure you find something like that. Now, the second thing that the brother asked about, if you know your money has haram in it, your money has haram, find out how much they invested in haram.
Okay.
And then at least try to give away a bit more than that, just to be on the safe side. When you receive it, give away that kind of amount. So say if you found out that about 25% of their investments are haram. So when you actually get your money from your pension, give away that kind of percentage to kind of absolve yourself and trying to expiate the haram that was involved in that transaction.
Without any intention of earning reward.
Yeah, you won't be able to get, you won't get reward for it, but at least you'll get the reward for trying to absolve yourself from sin. Okay. So have that in your mind. So that's one aspect of it. Now, at 55 years age, you said that in this particular type of pension scheme, you will be able to take the money out if you wish to do so. Now, on this, at the very least, the minimum that you must do is, if you don't take your money out, when you first receive that money, give 2.5% of that money as your zakah.
Total money received?
Yeah, the total when you receive it, whenever you receive it, whether you take it out at 55 or whether you take it out later, when you take it out, this is the minimum. Some of the scholars also say that you need to calculate how much the pension is worth now, and that's your assets, and that you have to give it. But you don't have access to that money normally. So, the very least, make sure that when you receive that money, whether you take it out at 55 or whether you take it out at some later time, make sure as soon as you receive it, 2.5% goes as your zakah of that money. And Allah knows best.
Jazakallahu khairan for that. Hope it is clear. Moving on swiftly to our callers. Next on the line. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Thank you very much for calling in. Sister, your question, please.
My question is, we know that it's sunnah to have the bath on Friday before going to Jum'ah. But is it possible to have the bath after Maghrib the night before? Will it still be valid for Jum'ah the next day?
You mean Thursday night. Okay. Inshallah. Sheikh will answer. Thank you very much, Sheikh.
In terms of the bath, the ghusl for Jumu'ah, it should be done on the day of Jumu'ah. Because the hadith specify Yawm al-Jumu'ah. Okay, so it is better to have it on the day of Jumu'ah, because if you look at the wisdom for the bath on the Friday, it was because people would come to the masjid and they would have this smell of sweat and bad odor, because they had come from working and things like that. So it shouldn't be at a time that is so far away from the Jumu'ah Salah that a person could have those odors. Rather, they arrive at the Jumu'ah looking their best, smelling their best. So you find the hadith mention Yawmul Jumu'ah. Okay, the ghusl should be Yawmul Jumu'ah, the day of Jumu'ah. The day starts at Fajr. Okay, so if you were to have a bath after Fajr had come in, and right now Fajr comes in very early. Okay, so if you did that, you would have achieved what the hadith say. You would have had a bath on the day of Jumu'ah from Fajr. Okay, that's when the day starts. Closer to the time, so that you're fresh, you smell your best, you look good when you go to Jumu'ah, is what is intended by the bath of the Jumu'ah itself. So one should try to do that, inshallah.
Okay, Jazakallahu khairan for that. Now, also another common sense approach would also be, in case if anything happens on Friday night, Thursday night, so then you still have to do ghusl again if it becomes fard on you to perform during the Friday day. So best is, and according to the Sunnah, is to perform ghusl during the day of Jum'ah rather than night of Jum'ah.
Yeah, that is the thing. But if someone cannot, okay, if someone cannot, because most of the madhahib believe that the bath or the bathing of Yawmul Jumu'ah is a sunnah, a very highly recommended sunnah, and some believe that is obligatory. So one would try to err on this, the safe side, and make sure they have a bath on the day of Jumu'ah, because some scholars believe it's an obligation. But if someone couldn't do it for whatever reason, and they had the bath the day before because they knew that it wasn't going to be possible, maybe they work all night, etc., and then they're working at the time of Jumu'ah, and they just about make it for the Salah, maybe someone like that, then you would do so because at least you had a shower and you were trying to fulfill that virtue as well. And inshallah, Allah will reward. But at the same time, in our times now, where it's so easy, we have bathrooms everywhere and showers everywhere, and it's easy for us to have that, whereas in the past it wasn't like that. One would stick to at least the bare minimum from Fajr, after Fajr Salah has come in, having a bath, and then counting that as your bath of Jumu'ah. But better than that is to have a bath and smell nice before you go to the Salah.
Jazakallahu khairan. Now another question remembered through the question. Some people, when you mentioned just about catches Jumu'ah. Now, issue, for example, came about last week, or in fact this Jumu'ah, that the Imam perhaps for some reason just slightly overran by 5 minutes or 10 minutes extra, which basically meant the Salah finished just around 1:55, just before 2. Now, some complaints were received in the context that it's too long, the khutbah, even though the majority of the people, when the khutbah starts at 1:15, they just come before the Salah like 1:30, 1:35. Now, question is, we have to go to work. Now, a question that comes to mind is, do we have to tell work that we have got Salah, or tell Salah that we have got work?
Okay, now, this is a dilemma or an issue that everyone who's working faces. It's easy for us who don't have those constraints and have flexibility with our work to say that, Salah is the most important thing, etc., sure, and we should be there no matter what happens. At the same time, the masajid and the imams, when they do the khutbah, they need to take into consideration people's time constraints, especially on Friday, because they just about have enough time. At the same time, if we are one of those employees who's going to just about have their lunch hour and get there, we shouldn't take our time eating or relaxing and go at the last minute for Jumu'ah. We should make sure we go as early as we can to the Jumu'ah Salah, because the reward is for coming early. Okay, and there's less reward the later you go. So our intent should be, right, I have this amount of time, I leave as soon as I can from work, so that I can arrive early for Jumu'ah. And on the other side of it, the masajid and the imam should have set timings that they declare and that they make known. The khutbah will start at X time, and the Jumu'ah, everything will finish at X time. So they make that known, and then the imams should try their very best to finish promptly on time, so that they don't put people in hardship and they take into consideration the people's difficulty. So if we both play our parts, then inshallah we won't have conflicts and we won't have issues.
Also, another issue from that is if you make an announcement, a khutbah starts at 1:15, for example, the salah and everything will be done by 1:45. Now, we see from experience, I'm sure as an imam you can clarify that, a lot of people when they know, okay, salah will start at 1:45 or 1:40, then they just come for the salah, not for the khutbah. Now, with regards to the Jum'ah Salah, the etiquettes of Jum'ah, whether did they perform the Jum'ah the way it should have been performed. I mean, the issue is here, as soon as you make it known, the timing of Salah, majority or most people you will see, or some you can say, they just come for the Salah and not for the khutbah.
Yes, so if you notice in what I said previously, I didn't mention what time the Salah.
I know, I just wanted to be
announcing the Salah. So that's a very dangerous thing. Once you announce the Salah will be at this time,
yeah,
you put in certain people's minds that, okay, just turn up for the Salah at this time.
That's it.
But obviously, some of the madhahib actually believe the khutbah, for the Hanafi madhab, for example, in some of them, they talk about the khutbah counting for the 2 rak'ah, because you only pray 2 rak'ah on a Friday, whereas normally every other day of the week you're praying 4 rak'ah of Dhuhr. So they say that the khutbah itself counts for 2 rak'ah, and the salah is 2 rak'ah. So you've got your 4 rak'ah, but you must be attending both of those things. So a person needs to be very careful. And again, the Jumu'ah is the special salah which has the khutbah. If you're not attending the khutbah, which is wajib for you to attend, the whole of the Jumu'ah, it's not just about the salah. It's an obligation for you to attend and listen to the dhikr, and the angels record those who have entered the masjid and are there until the imam comes and stands on the minbar. So your name wasn't actually in the record of the angels because you came much later. So you've missed out hugely. You're not in the attendance record of the malaika. A huge problem for you. Okay, so it's unthinkable for a person to actually plan to do that. That's like trying to cheat Allah. Okay, you can't cheat Allah. Allah knows your intent. Allah knows if you had some hardship and you got late and you're not able to. Allah knows that. But if you planned it, you had plenty of time, but you planned, I'm just going to make it for the salah because I don't want to hear any advice. I just want to do the very basic minimum. Then it's like, okay, you want to do the basic minimum. There's nothing between you and leaving Iman and being Iman being diminished, except what, one line, one thread. You're on an edge that you could fall off at any moment. That's not how one should treat their Iman.
Thank you very much for that. Inshallah, the follow-up question we'll ask you, inshallah, after the break. And also, a bit of planning. We plan in every matters when it comes to worldly matters. So let's plan our ibadah, especially if we know that our lunch is between 1 to 2. I'm talking about people who work 9 to 5. Then, of course, if you know the lunch starts at 1 o'clock, then when you have break before your actual lunch, let's make sure that we can perform the wudu, get the wudu done and dusted and out of the way, so that when time comes, you go straight, as Sheikh has mentioned, to the prayer hall or the masajid and start planning accordingly. And I'm sure if we plan properly, we can execute it properly too. It's time for another break, but you're watching Ask Eman live on Eman Channel Sky 757, live on social media platforms. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to all our platforms, social media platforms, official social media platforms. There are a lot of questions to ask. Inshallah, we'll be asking them after the short break. Stay tuned. You're watching Ask Eman. We'll be right back in 2. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. Watching Ask Eman. With us we have guest Sheikh Shaqur Rehman. Contact details will be displayed at the bottom of the screen, or you can see it now, and of course live on our social media platforms. Time is limited, Sheikh. Let's move on swiftly to our next question. Student loan, maintenance, or any other loan. Can we perform Hajj or should we pay the loan first?
Okay, these are two very different things. Student loans are very different to other loans. So the student loan, as it currently is here in the UK, is not what the Sharia terms as a loan. It is actually a tax because there is nothing in the contract when you take the student loan where they can enforce you paying back the whole of the loan. That is why the experts in the student loan area, they talk about this being a tax on students, not actually a loan. And therefore, the way it is currently, it is not a ribawi transaction, it is not an interest transaction, and therefore is allowed for Muslims to take this kind of loan. So it is very different to any other loan. So the question, can a person make Hajj, Umrah, etc., while they have the student finance loan that they have to pay? Now, that is a tax. So you will pay it when you hit a certain threshold and you've been working, etc.
Yeah.
And therefore, that may never happen. Inshallah, it will happen, but maybe it won't happen. So that's not even a loan that you should even think about. So student finances, if you have that issue, going Umrah, going Hajj, no problem, you go. Clear. Now, as for other loans, you have another loan, say you took money off family and you have to pay back £5,000, you've got this debt, let's say £10,000, take the example of Hajj, you've got £10,000 debt which you have to pay back over, let's say 10 years. You've got a nice salary coming in and you're paying back a certain amount each time.
Installment, yeah.
Yeah, installments to families, so there's no interest, none of that involved. You know that you've got this money coming in on a regular basis and you will cover those payments that you're going to make back to the family and it will be covered. So as long as that's the case, there's no problem with you going to Umrah, going to Hajj, because you know the money is still coming in, you're still making sure that it's going to be paid, it's going to be covered. So then it wouldn't be a problem at all. The problem would be, say if you have a loan and you don't have money coming in and you don't know whether you're going to be able to pay that money back.
That's right.
As long as those people who you owe money to are happy with you to go and make that trip, knowing that you will work your hardest to get that money to them on the regular installments that you've planned or at the date that it's been planned. If they're happy, then it's no problem as well. So the only problem would be you don't know where your money is going to come from. You don't know if you're going to be able to pay it. Those people are not happy for you to go to make Hajj and you only have that money to pay back the loan. Then it will be a problem. Then, you should pay off the loan. But that is one of the many different types of cases. And all the other cases, it will be perfectly fine. So treat it like that, inshallah.
Okay, Jazakallah khairan. Next question. When we enter the mosque and do 2 rakats, do we break the sunnah and start the fard, or do we finish the sunnah first?
Can you say that again?
Okay, so I think what the question is trying to understand, when we enter the mosque and do 2 rakats, so if we perform 2 rakats, do we break the sunnah and start the fard, or do we finish the sunnah first? So ideally, I think what it's referring to, if it's a fard salah, so we know people, even if the imam have started praying fard, some people, they pray the sunnah and then join the imam.
Okay.
Now, in this context, does he need to break the sunnah, join the fard? Or in other context, if the fard salah has started, does he need to pray sunnah or join the fard?
Okay. So the way one does this, now the salah, if the salah has already started and you walk into the masjid, there's no other salah that you pray except the fard salah that is being prayed. Okay, you join the rows and you pray the fard salah. So you don't start praying sunnah. So this is the case. Even if it's the fajr salah, the sunnah of fajr is something that the Prophet ﷺ never left, and you will pray them. But because the fard salah, the iqamah has gone, the obligation for you at that moment, when you walk into the salah area, you pray. Some of the madhahib allow you to pray the sunnah outside of the salah area. So you haven't got there yet. You haven't got to where the
main prayer
salah
hall
is being praying. So you're somewhere else and you prayed your sunnah, then you walked in. You could do that, but you've walked into the masjid, and nowadays you walk into the masjid and you're in the main salah area.
Yeah, that's right.
So, and you're not allowed to pray in the issue area. The masajid normally have rules for that because there's fire exits, fire hazard, health and safety issues. So you'll straight be in there. So you are not allowed to pray your sunnah prayer while the fard is going on. So that's the first thing. Now, it could be that you walked in and you were praying your sunnah. And you're in your sunnah, and then the iqamah goes while you're still in your sunnah.
Fard started, yeah.
Yeah, fard is now started, the iqamah went, and the fard is starting now, and you are still praying your sunnah. Right, so in this case, what you would do is, say if you're praying 2 sunnah, and now you're in your second rakah, and you're going into ruku, then quickly finish off that second rakah, because you are very likely to catch the first rakah of the fard.
That's right.
Okay. Say if you just started your 2 sunnah or 4 sunnah, okay, you just started and you're praying, and then the iqamah goes. You're gonna miss the first rak'ah if you carry on.
Definitely.
Then you would break your sunnah prayer and you would pray your fard with the jama'ah, and then after your fard salah, you would make up those sunnah that you missed. So do it like that, inshallah.
Okay, now also common sense approach, Tahiyyatul Masjid. We know it's, say for example, 1:30 is Zuhr, for example, and I've just entered the mosque at 1:29 or 28. We know at 1:30 that the Iqamah will start. So do we pray Tahiyyatul Masjid or?
You know, it depends. You need to know your masjid, isn't it? When you know your masjid,
Okay.
like, sometimes I'll walk in now at 28.
Okay.
28 past, yeah.
1:28, yeah.
1:28,
Yeah.
right, it's 28. I know by the time the imam comes in and then the iqamah goes and then he starts, it's going to be 1:31. Sometimes even
1:32, 3.
announcements 1:32.
Yeah.
So I will use that opportunity to pray 2 rakah.
Okay.
Because you can. If you know the masjid, you know how it works. If you don't know, okay, if you can pray quickly, you know, when you have 2 minutes, a rak'ah doesn't take 1 minute. Yeah, you can do that. If it's 29 and 30 seconds, then obviously more likely that you won't start.
So basically common sense approach.
Yeah, common sense approach in those types of issues. And even if you start, we covered how if you're still in the first rak'ah, you would break it, and at least you made use of that time. The worst thing is, people are waiting for salah, and what do? They just sit there and do nothing.
Okay.
No dhikr, no Quran,
Nothing.
no salah. They're sitting, doing nothing in the masjid. Yes, they're getting reward,
Yeah.
because Allah is generous, but they miss out. They at least do dhikr, isn't it?
Absolutely. And sometimes even if we find our friends or any families or local community brothers, we engage in a conversation that perhaps would be best.
Conversation rather than a few minutes of dhikr, major reward.
60-second time I've got left. I don't know whether this is a medical or Islamic question, but let me ask you, does Islam say anything about not drinking water on an empty stomach first in the morning?
Not as far as I know.
Okay, so that's nothing to do with Islam.
The Prophet ﷺ didn't specify these types of... These are nitty-gritty issues. Islam is such a vast religion. It doesn't constrain you in these nitty-gritty issues.
Okay, that's it. I would love to ask you more questions. We've got a lot more questions, but unfortunately time is up. But Sheikh, if you can give us more time, inshallah, in the future, perhaps. I know you're busy, but inshallah, hope to see you in the future episode.
Jazakallah khair.
Barakallah fiqh. And my dear brothers, apology for missing out on questions, but inshallah, we'll try our level best to take those questions in our next episode. Regarding medical advice, please speak to your consultant or doctor in case if you've got any underlying issues with regards to health, because it was a drinking water. We do not give any health advice on this show. Also, if you've missed, the videos available on Facebook or YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to all our official platforms. Inshallah, the show will be back again next week. So please feel free to phone in, text, or ask us questions, inshallah, in various other platforms. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.